Well, thank you very much. It's kind of an emotional day as well. There's a lot of great things happening here today. I'd like to thank everyone here for getting up this morning and making it to this brunch induction ceremony. It seems a bit early for some of these boys, I think, after last night anyway. It was a late one, but a great one in Halifax. Geez, it's nice to be back in Wolfville. You know you're back at Acadia University when you find yourself partying late into the night with the boys and then having to produce a coherent piece of writing at 4 o'clock in the morning because it's due the next day. Congratulations to the 96 team on a well-deserved induction into the Acadia Sports Hall of Fame. The boys have come from far and wide, all the way from England and all the way on from the West Coast. We've got Devo and Sully from out in Vancouver and Langley, so wonderful. But I think first I'm going to have to start by thanking all of the athletic therapists, physiotherapists, doctors, and surgeons over the years. Thank you, Dr. Jim McLeod, Darren Booth, and Bruce Langell, Shane Conrad, sorry about this. Our sports therapist in 1996, and the one and only Dr. Scott Landry. These guys somehow got most of us back on the pitch. Lots of injuries. I've injured almost every body part over the years, from head to toe. Sully likes to call me Kit Kat nowadays because I break so easily. From concussions to broken toes, hamstring, quad, and groin tears, fractured tibia plateau, 2 torn ACLs, MCLs, lots of fun with the meniscus, and a separated ankle. And of course, whenever Acadia would have to play UPI, Jared, especially at UPI, the therapists were ready for anything. Isn't it great that soccer is a non-contact sport? The big question is, was it worth it? Of course it was worth it, and it'll be worth it for you guys too. You learn a lot of life's lessons when playing a varsity sport, preparing for battle, then going to war for one another, coping with adversity, being tenacious, and eventually learning to work with what you have, and if you're lucky, find success as a team. There are a lot of teammates and coaches that have taught me so much over the years. John Kehoe was the head coach for all of my years at Acadia, and throughout his career, he always gave his players lots of freedom to express themselves, and he really valued our opinions. And just before the playoffs started in 1996, we as a team made some crucial adjustments. And this collaborative strategizing enabled us to do something very, very special. Thanks, John Kehoe. And thanks to Bobby, the Bobcat, Flecknell, and Huntley Reddick, who were the assistant coaches as well. They found me a starting position in my first year, and it actually was left fullback. When you're starting at any varsity team, you're just lucky to be on the pitch. So this allowed me to learn from the leaders on the team at the time. Guys like Jeff Farker and Scotty Bennett were incredible leaders who knew how to make a team gel. Brian Duguay was the captain of Acadia in my first year. He was a fierce competitor. If you knew Brian, you learned how to win. It didn't matter what the score was at halftime. Duguay was going to drop a ton of F-bombs, and he was going to get us fired up to take over in the second half. But there were other guys like Mark Hynum, Chris Harrison, and Tim Mullen, who showed the rest of us how to play like beasts and win every single tackle. And guys like Jeff O'Coin, Chris Moore, and Jay Robson, they showed us that skill and composure can be effective too. Other studs like Malcolm McNeil and Sheldon McIsaac and Devin Jodry were super athletic but humble and always let their game do the talking. Or there were smart guys like Dr. Trevor Lawley or Curtis Gildert, who played with intelligence. I didn't learn much from them, unfortunately. They're bright. Being a striker for Acadia was a tough task, but guys like Steve Wynn and John McIntyre would track back and defend too. It wasn't easy for strikers to be selfless, but Acadia strikers were good like that, and they knew they had to cash in on their chances when they came, and these guys did. Guys like Jay Mercier, Nick Cooper, and Sean Brushett were workhorses with a ton of heart. They tried to wear the other opponent down so we could make something good happen in the last 5 minutes of the game. Then there was a guy named Glenn Sullivan. Some of you might have met him. He's not quiet. Who played with bravado and a confidence that would make everyone around him feel like we could be winners. One of my favorite moments in the '96 season was when we played Dow at Raymond Field in late September. We were still ranked in the top 5, but we were starting to get some injuries. And Dow were keen to crash our party. Both teams were undefeated. Everyone knew Dow was for real. They'd just won the Nationals. But we were not sure how we would do against the elite of the elite. It turned out that we could hang with them, and we played to a 1-1 tie. Johnny McIntyre scored a beauty. Our defensive core was incredible, and Sully was far from intimidated. He made one save off Mark Ellis that game that let Dal know we were going to be a problem for them in the playoffs. And in the '96 finals at Dal, we proved it. Thanks to everyone at Acadia for giving me the opportunity to play the beautiful game on beautiful Raymond Field with all these boys for 5 solid years. And I'd like to thank my father, Sebastian Cino, who passed away just last October. He always believed in me, and he proved it by driving me all over the country to play the game, allowing me to grow as an athlete over many years. And he would have been very proud of this accomplishment. All the best to the current teams. We'll love you guys no matter what you do today, guys and girls, but kick Mount Allison's ass. Axemen here, Axemen there, Axemen every frickin' where. Thank you.